Hello everyone, it's AJ and welcome to my first video of making red onion and feta scones. So here are all the ingredients you'll need. They'll all be listed in the description box below along with the measurements and everything else you need to know. So first thing you want to do is sift your flour into your bowl, which I've already done. Next step is to get your cold butter from the fridge and chop it up into little cubes and then pop it in the bowl. After you've done this, I also recommend preheating your oven to about 180°C or gas mark 6. And then next you're going to want to grab your caster sugar, baking powder, bicarbonate of soda and salt, and again pop it in your bowl. Now don't worry if you don't have a stand mixer for this, you can just do this all by hand. Almost forgot black pepper, I want to add that in too. Okay, and then after that's all done, you want to turn your mixer on to about a medium speed and wait for it to go into a crumbly consistency that looks a little bit like this. So if you want to replicate this with your hands, then just rub it in between your fingers until it resembles a crumb, just like this. So next we're going to start adding all of our wet ingredients. So here I'm just going to pop in some of the yogurt. You can also use sour cream if you don't have any yogurt available at home. Sour cream actually gives it a really good flavour, kind of like nice tangier, but I just didn't have any, so I'm just using yogurt because I had it in the fridge. And then to that you're going to want to crack an egg in and add your onions. So after you've added your wet ingredients, you want to pop it back onto your stand mixer, again to a medium speed until everything is just combined. Now you're going to want to add my favourite ingredient, which is the feta. So I've already cubed or crumbled this up, and then I'm just going to put it in here and try not to make a mess, just like I'm doing now. So after you've done all of that and added everything in, you're going to want to eat a small piece of cheese that you dropped, obviously, and then you're going to want to put it on your stand mixer ready to go. Now once that is all mixed, it's quite a crumbly dough, so don't be worried if it's not completely coming together, it's not supposed to. If you're using your hands, again, just kind of like keep moulding it and keep patting it with your hands. It'll probably be a bit difficult to use a wooden spoon at this stage, so I'd probably say put the dough out on the bench and then just put the little cubes of feta in where you can and just start mushing it together. If you're wondering how to mush, I'm about to mush some dough now. So as you can see here, I'm literally mushing the dough together. I'm aware that's not the technical term, but it's a great word, so why not, let's use it. I'm mushing it into a square, and then I'm going to wrap this up in some cling film and pop it in the fridge for about 15 minutes. This will just make sure that the butter has kind of like hardened up a little bit more, and it's a lot easier for you to kind of like roll out and work with. Top tip, to avoid getting flour all over your cling film, I'd recommend doing this on a clean surface, unlike me. So once your dough is out of the fridge, you're going to want to unwrap it and start rolling it out. So I'm attempting to keep it in kind of like a rectangular shape, which will help with how we're shaping the scones later on. and you want to roll it out to about 2.5 centimeters thick. So once you've rolled that out to what seems about 2.5 centimeters thick, you're going to want to fold it in half, basically as if you were closing a book, so as I'm doing here, and that will basically form a long kind of rectangle shape. So once you've done that, I'm just rolling out my dough to about 5 centimeters in thickness. As you saw from the preview, these are quite chubby scones, and I think they taste best chubby, but if you want to make them slightly thinner, then by all means roll it out a bit more. If you've also been using your hands during this time and you think your dough isn't looking like mine, then just simply pop it back in the fridge for another 10 minutes for it to harden up, and then you can slice it as I'm doing here. And here is what they should look like. So I've managed to get 6 large ones out of mine. You can make them a bit thinner if you want to, or use cutters. It's entirely up to you. So next I'm just placing them on a baking tray with some baking paper just to ensure they don't stick. And I'm going to brush them with some milk. Now you can use egg yolk if you want. I had milk on hand. It doesn't really matter because they both do the same thing. So before they go in, I'm going to add a cheeky little crack of black pepper and put them in the oven for about 25 to 30 minutes and take them out when they look like this. They are golden brown on the top, they are nicely baked all the way through, and I cannot wait to tuck into them. Cue steam. Now I think there are so many different ways that you can enjoy these scones. I'm just putting some salted butter on them, but I've also eaten it with Philadelphia, which is so delicious. 2 types of cheese, why not? Or you can even put some cheddar on if you want to roll like that. As you can see from the intro, I made mine with a little side salad, so I grated up some cucumber, cut up some lettuce, carrots, made a little dressing, and then kind of had that on the side. So that was my dinner for the day, but these taste great the next day, kind of warmed up again, put them back in the oven for literally 10 minutes, wait till they're hot inside and dig in. So, as they all say, like, subscribe, let me know what you want me to bake next, and hopefully you'll be a slightly less messy eater than me. Yep, in your mouth, there it goes. Bye!